that is a resistance we living all the time in, especially when you are on a spiritual path and you have experienced the oneness and how beautiful it is to be so connected with everything, and that your body is actually not anymore your environment, but every person is your environment, and every tree and everything is felt through you. And that is, of course, wonderful. But we also need this physical body in its uniqueness in order to just to be part of nature, as everything else is also part of the whole tapestry of life. And this individual energy that you are carrying, that I carry, that every person on this earth carries, that every bird and every tree carries, every stone, everything that is existing on earth has its very, very own energy. And by that, its very, very own place. Yeah? And that actually, when we dare to live our energy freely, that means the energy we're carrying today, not to try to strive to get a certain energy that we think is the right energy, and now saying, now I'm not having the right energy. But when we can really live a non-dual approach, yeah, meaning there is no right or wrong, there just is. Yeah? And we also adopt that kind of approach, this non-dual approach towards of who we are and what we do in every single moment of our life, when we can breathe that one in, that we can really feel that, then we make space for our human nature, and we make space and living with no resistance to not just what is outside from us, but we also live with no resistance to what is inside of us. And when we start doing that, when we live with no resistance to what is inside of us anymore, meaning I'm jealous. Okay, I'm jealous. I'm postponing things. I'm postponing things. Yeah, and we think that we have to fight those kind of traits because they are fear-based and they're not good. And that is what I'm teaching in my teachings. Yeah, is to see the beauty that lies in every single aspect of that you are. Yeah, that also jealousy as it shows itself as being jealousy, has an unchangeable, always visible essence, and to train ourselves to see that and to be aware of that and to know that it's there in every single trait that is there. Every single trait has the capacity to move towards enrichment and to move towards destructiveness, towards needs fulfillment and fear, and towards enrichment. And that is something that is a teaching which is perhaps not so known yet. When you have some people like Ramdas, for example, he has also always known that the physical body, our earthly nature, is also just as perfect as our nature surrounding us and everything that happens. Yeah, so we live just in the presence of pain as much as we live in the presence of incredible joy, and both is absolutely there, and it's part of life. And when we make space for that, when we develop this non-dual approach also towards ourselves and towards who we are, and then we are creating this space, this observing presence inside of ourselves, where development of those aspects, because they're not rejected anymore. They don't feel like just we are wounds, we are just some mistakes from the past that has happened, and things like that. I mean, who could strive when it's looked like that? Yeah, and that is already an advanced way of looking at it. When you come to other aspects of or other approaches of personal development, then you're looked as obstacles, and that's even worse. But none of it is true. Those things are no just wounds and mistakes from the past. Neither are they obstacles. It's part of our who we are at this moment, fulfilling our very unique part of the puzzle, every moment of our life, every second of our life, in the very exact way as life asks it to do. Yeah, and when we can play that role in a non-dualistic way, and we are allowing ourselves to also be the nasty one at times, because also by that we fulfill our purpose, and to allow it to be more and more automatically, not because we are wanting it, striving for it, trying to meditate, and not that I love meditation, yeah, but it is what is the intention of the meditation. Is the intention of the meditation to just to be in this oneness, yeah, and that just to have this exclusive experience, which we then say, this is the experience I have to have. This is a good one, and this is how I have to be all the time, yeah. And then when I'm jealous, and when I postpone, and when I'm fearful, and when I'm pushing myself, or when I, all these kind of things that I also have, when I'm criticizing my body, or when I'm criticizing whatever I do, and when I say no to these ones, yeah, then I have left the non-dual energy, this space-making energy, yeah. And in the NEWEX approach, in the teachings that I love you really to invite to get to know more and more, I bring this down to earth, how to live it practically, to connect those two things. Not to say like my teachings are for striving to reach there somewhere, but this is really to connect our earthly being, our absolute nature that we are, with everything what we have to show, yeah, and also the bring it in the non-dual approach, and to connect it with the divine, with the oneness, with everything else, yeah, that we experience mostly just in meditations, or in workshops, or in other encounters on the very different levels of our existence. And my teachings are about that we are just seeing and observing, these different levels of where we are existence. Yeah, now I'm here. Okay. And now I'm here. Oh, okay. Yeah, that we don't measure one to be better than the other one, and to say, oh, no, this one, no, I don't, because it doesn't look like that, and doesn't look good. Because often these days, yeah, wanting to be a spiritual person and wanting to reach a certain level has just become another target that we have set ourselves. We are so much in achieving, and in having to run after something, and to having to achieve something, and that we are looking at ourselves and also at other people at times not with the spaciousness we need in order to actually really help ourselves, just by space, by holding the space for it, yeah, to develop naturally further from fear to enrichment. That is not something that we decide, and it's also not something that we can push or force, it's just something that we can observe when we have created that space for us, and we can also hold that space for others, by living it freely ourselves. And that's what the NEWEX approach is about. This is what the teachings are about, and I welcome you to have a taste in it, and to approach yourself also in this non-dual energy of the NEWEX. So just to live yourself freely, because freedom is not in order to just to put another package on requirements on yourself. Freedom is to be yourself just as you are, and to enjoy it, and to see the brilliance in this whole thing called life.